Could a total stranger just glance at your homepage and tell you exactly what your business does? Most small business owners would say yes without even thinking twice. And most of them are wrong. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you the exact kind of language that makes a website invisible both to humans and to AI. Plus, a simple test you can run on your own site in the next 2 minutes to find out if there's a problem. Here's one sentence that shows up on local business websites constantly. We provide quality solutions for all your needs. Think about that. What does that business actually do? You have no idea. And neither does the AI assistant trying to figure out whether to recommend this business to somebody who asked for help. That sentence tells a search engine and AI, a real human being, absolutely nothing. And the tragic part is, the owner who wrote it almost certainly knows exactly what they do. They just never translated that knowledge onto the page, because when you're inside your own business, the vague feels obvious. You know what you mean, but the stranger that's reading it, they don't. We're talking about brand clarity. This is the first of the 5 factors I introduced in our last episode, and it's the one that quietly wrecks more websites than any other. Not because the owners don't know their business, it's because they never wrote it down the way that a stranger or a machine actually needs to read it. Now, here's what brand clarity actually requires. Your website needs to plainly say 4 things: what you do, in the words your customers actually use, not industry jargon, where you provide those goods or services, your city, your service area, who it's for, and what makes choosing you the easy decision. Let's now take that vague sentence and we're going to fix it using those 4 pieces. Instead of, we provide quality solutions for all your needs, try something like, we repair water heaters for homeowners in Boise, usually the same day you call. Here's why this matters so much more than it used to. Think about the anatomy of a page that actually gets found. It says what it is, where it is, right up front. It answers the visitor's question first, not your company history. It also shows some kind of proof, real photos, real reviews, real jobs, and underneath all of this sits the technical layer that helps the machines read it clearly. Notice that there's 3 of those 4 things about clarity and proof, not code. The technical layer, it is real, but it's underneath. It's not the things that are doing the heavy lifting for your business. Now, here's the part that's new, and it's the reason this episode matters so much for this series. When a human lands on a vague page, they might kind of poke around and look at the site, maybe squint a little, try and figure out what's going on, or they might just leave. An AI assistant doesn't do all of that. It's not going to squint at the page. It doesn't guess what you probably mean. If your site doesn't clearly say what you do, who it's for, and where you serve, the AI has nothing solid to work with, and it moves on to the next business that made it easy for the AI to find. You don't get partial credit for being almost clear. Both humans and machines will kind of punish you for not being clear, but humans are way more forgiving than machines. Here's a 2-minute test you can run on your site right now. Pull up your homepage, cover the logo, cover the navigation on it, and then read only the first 2 sentences of actual text. Ask yourself this: does this tell a complete stranger what I do, the service area, and who I'm helping? If you have to explain it or add additional context to the words on the page, you found a gap. This is not a design problem. It's not a technical problem. It's a word problem. And it's usually the cheapest one that you can possibly fix, which is really good news. Here's a few patterns to watch for as you're doing that test. You can look for words like solution, excellence, quality, and trusted. On their own, these words don't really do anything. They sound nice, but they say nothing. Because literally any business in any industry could just slap those words on their homepage without changing a single fact about them. If a competitor could copy and paste your headline onto their own site and it would still make sense for them, it's not saying anything specific about your business. Now, the other problem is the opposite problem, drowning the visitor in internal jargon instead of vagueness. If your headline uses language that only people inside your industry understand, you've traded one kind of unclear for another. The test is always the same. Would a stranger with zero context immediately understand what you do? Getting this right is genuinely the cheapest fix on the whole 5-factor list that we have. It doesn't require a redesign of your site. It doesn't require new photography or a new developer. It requires sitting down and just writing in plain language the 4 things a stranger actually needs to know. Most businesses could fix their biggest brand clarity problem in an afternoon, and yet so many don't. Because it's easy to assume the site already says what you're thinking that it says. Getting your message clear is step 1, but being clear on your own website only helps if you also exist correctly everywhere else people and machines are going to look for you. That's next. If you want the fuller picture on building a website that actually gets found, my book, Small Business Big Visibility, Local SEO Made Easy, walks through it in plain English. Look for the link below. And if you want to catch the rest of the series, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications. Thanks for watching.